K here, but you could call me F-Rig. And today we're going to be discussing my Wraith build. And if I'm going to make a build, I'm going to make it look sexy.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so let's get into it. Wraith. Alright, Wraith main. Okay, so first things first, when you actually go out into the lane, you're going to put on your Living Guardian just to go into the vitality tree. Just for some defense, so it's not easy for anybody to gank you, and if anybody does gank you, you have some type of like basic armor as you land basic attacks. So if you read the fortifying strikes, basic attack hits grants a stack of 2 basic armor for 10 seconds, and this effect can stack up to 10 times. But you want to just put in your tree, and you want to put in vitality 2 more times, so you could actually get this. This is the base of your build. Possess Spraken. Now it gives you 6 power, 120 health, but why you want it on is for that 12.5 health regen. Now this card also can't be unequipped, so once you have it, it's on for the rest of the game. Alright, so after you actually put this on, now you want to actually go and focus on your intellect tree. And what your main focus is trying to get this right here, the Glycerin Dawn. And the Glycerin Dawn gives you 21 power, but it's also a fireball attack. So when you launch it at somebody, it deals 150 damage, and then it actually deals 15 damage for every hero level. So for example, if level 1, that's 15 already. If somebody's level 2, that's 30, and so on. And then also the ability has a burn that does 200 damage over 4 seconds. So you actually go into your intellect tree, and after that you could actually put this, the Tireless Reaper. They actually have the cost of your abilities 20% less. And as you go inside the intellect tree and you get up to 4, you put an Invader Mage, but you kind of only want your Invader Mage there until you have enough to actually put on your Glycerin Dawn. But it's good to have some more power and some more ability penetration. And after you actually do that, that's when you put on, after you get 3 more points into intellect, you put on your Glycerin Dawn. Now the point of the Glycerin Dawn and this Possess Skykin is the point that you could actually use this as a 3rd move. So imagine like having another sniper for Wraith. So let's say you rewind somebody, you throw a Glycerin Dawn at them, you snipe them. For the most part, not a lot of people could actually take all that damage, so it's not really hard to actually finish them off, and it does a lot of power. Now me personally, I usually combo 1, 2, and let's say I can't reverse somebody, I use this, the Grinning Spectra. And the Grinning Spectra also gives you a lot of power, just like the Glycerin Dawn. It actually gives you 25 and 195 mana. But the Creeping Death is what I like about this. So you launch a slow moving projectile that deals 300 true damage. But if this brings target below 15% max health, they are executed. So when you actually hit somebody with a Glycerin Dawn and a snipe and a couple like autos, let's say they get away, if you could actually send this before they actually like get to base, or just send this when you know they already escaped from you, if their health is still low, and if this 300 damage actually brings them to 15% health, they're automatically executed, so they automatically die. So typically I usually combo 1, 2, and 3. Now you're probably wondering, so what about everything in between? Like me, I'm a strong believer in situational cards. So the way then I put this, then I put right here until I could afford this, and I'm only having this until I could afford that. And then from this point on, after you have the Glycerin Dawn, you could focus on getting the Grinning Spectra if you want, or you could focus on other stuff that are like situational for like your situation, as far as the heroes on the field. If I actually want to just focus on staying on the lane, I will combo the actual Possess Skykin with the Warlock Burden. The Warlock Burden gives me some more health, and the special effect that it has is I lose 3% of my max mana to restore 2% of my actual max, my max health, and I restore 2% of my actual max mana. So then that way, let's say I use up all my mana, which I try not to do with Wraith. I actually use this card to actually get my mana up. Now it's going to decrease my health, but after I'm actually done using this to actually get my mana up to where I like it, I could just toggle it again and take it off, and then have this actually take on effect again and actually give me that health regen. So that's actually a very good card to combo with this. So these two right here. I could also have finer playthings if I feel like I'm getting ganked a lot, and it's like, you know, I kind of like would prefer vision from time to time to see where the jungler's at or where the safe lane is at. I could use this also. Oh, if anybody doesn't know what the finer plaything does, it targets enemy heroes. You reduce attack speed by 30 if you actually choose a hero to do that too. And that happens for 2 seconds, but in addition it reveals all enemy heroes for 6 seconds, which is the best part about that card. And you also get power and mana regen, and you know, Wraith is actually very mana hungry. So you combo that if you feel like, you know, you're getting ganked a lot. I actually also have Reactor Beast. Reactor Beast is more of a aggressive and like aggressive card where it's like, you know, it gives you power and attack speed and health, and then on hero kills it resets all your basic ability cooldowns. Now when it's some people get confused and think like, oh, my ult should be actually like reset, but no, it's not your ult. That's why it says reset all basic abilities. So for example, if I'm actually going to like put my like life at risk to just get one pick, which you shouldn't actually be doing. Like one pick isn't worth dying for. But let's say I'm feeling crazy and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna get this guy because he got away. I didn't like the way he got away. So if you actually do that, right, and let's say I use my snipe and I use my reset to actually kill him and all that, right? But there's also somebody, like 2 people around me, or let's say 1 more person that could kill me. If I get that kill on that person, those 2 moves actually reset. So my snipe will reset and my reverse will reset. So I could actually use a reset on the guy that's actually trying to kill me. But this is also a situational thing. So I would have this just in case I feel like I could get a lot of picks, like where the team is very squishy and, you know, they don't really have too many tanks. My Plague Lord Malakin is actually another situational card. Now I really do enjoy this card. So if there's like another tank on the team, or if there's even 2 tanks, so if there's like a Rampage and a Zinx, or a Quang or a Chimera, where, you know, these are all people that have passive form of healing, this right here will actually stop the healing. And usually, typically, you actually see a lot of people comboing healing cards with those heroes. So like more Lifesteal for Quang, health regen, or like Vital Water for Zinx. So like this right here would actually nerf that. So I could help out my teammates and help me out by just like being able to chip at them, because, you know, I'm Wraith, that's what I do. And then my last situational card is the Amplification Engineer. Basically, when you cast your abilities, you just do more 8% damage to that of that person's actual current health as ability damage. So it's nice to actually, like, you know, combo that with like your snipe. But I try to stay within like I try to focus on like 2. I try not to focus on too many things. So like, for example, my tree is just focused on intellect and vitality. Amplification engineering is the only thing that kind of like steers away from that, because it has 4 agility. But if you feel like you want it, you could combo that. Now I'm gonna get into the gems. Now the first gem I have is actually Quick Exit, and I put it on as soon as I put on my my Living Guardian. Now the reason why I don't have healing on the tower is because it's not going to be too long until I have my possessed Spykin, so I don't really need the health regen underneath towers, so I prefer to just use a Quick Exit to just get back to lane faster. And then after that, it's just a straight shot onto the intellect tree. Now I use my first one, I use Onslaught. It reduces the cooldown by 0.2 when you land a basic attack. Now in the beginning of the match, you know, it doesn't seem like a lot, But as it starts to get later in the game, 0.2 cooldown, and then like, you know, just like being able to just snipe a little quicker just by landing basic attack. It doesn't have to be on a hero, it could be on a minion. So let's say you need a snipe and somebody is very weak, but they're still sticking around. You hit minions for a few times, and boom, you get the snipe faster than you normally would by just waiting for it. And then the second gem I have is Deadly Mana, which is killing an enemy minion increases max mana by 2. So as throughout the game, you'll notice that you have your mana pool will like increase a lot more, because for every last hit you'll get 2 mana that goes into your actual max mana pool. And it's just about just like, you know, as you get your last hits, you're just actually increasing your mana pool, which is good, because most of these casters, especially Wraith, like your mana is like very important. You want to have as much as you can, and you want to be able to use your moves more because you're a caster. Now my third thing is actually spell burn. The reason why I actually have spell burn is because I want to just be able to do the most damage I can with that sniper, because it's his only actual ability that does damage, right? So I put 2.5 power, and the abilities dealt. This ability deals bonus damage equal to 2% of enemy's current health over 3 seconds. So this spell burn is kind of similar to the burn effect that this has. So all I'm doing is just making sure like I could kill people. So, you know, do a little spell burn with my actual abilities, combo with this or even this. You know, this is like making sure like Wraith can actually snipe and hurt as much as possible. And it's the same thing with this ruthless spell. So I put again 2.5 power, and it's going to deal an additional 1% ability damage for every 10% of enemy heroes missing health. So this is very great for Wraith when like people are actually trying to run away, because they know like one more snipe it could kill them. Let's say typically the snipe that you have didn't do enough damage. With this right here, it will kill them, because you're dealing that extra 1% ability damage for every 10%. So the more health that person has missing, the harder your snipe actually hits. And then the last gem I put on is the overpowered spell, and I put on 2.5 power and mana regen. You know, I want to have my mana actually regen as much as possible, and hit as hard as possible. So this right here, my abilities deal a 20% damage, right? But it costs like 30% more mana. So, but while I've been actually stacking this, by the time I actually get to here, like that 30% shouldn't even really mean anything. So then, and also I usually combo these three, like I said, this right here with this and this. So usually by the time I actually get to this in this tree, like that 30% mana on my move shouldn't even really make a difference, and I should be able to just still casually snipe as often as I want. But yeah, so that's the build right there. So like the point of this build is just trying to, because Wraith is actually in a tough spot right now, and he can't really actually stay in front of the lane with other casters, or even the typical Zinks when they actually put Zinks mid. So this build is just for that. This build is to actually make Wraith liable to actually stay in front of these casters and not get bullied. And with the combination of this and this and this, you could actually stay in the lane. You could take chip damage. People can poke at you. It doesn't matter, because you're gonna have free gen. And when you decide to attack, whether it be somebody's ganking you, or whether you feel like, hey, you know what, I've done enough chip damage, let me actually snipe, use a Glycerin Dawn, some more auto hits, let's see how they react. Snipe again. Oh, they're almost dead, but they're trying to run away. Okay, I'm gonna end them with this. And yeah, and that's the point of this build, to just try to make sure Wraith could actually stand toe to toe with any caster and not get bullied, and actually be the bullier. Now the only thing I would say is the Sky, the possessed Sky Sprykin can actually get countered by the Plague Lord. So when you actually come to that, just know that this right here, if you want this to be effective, probably like stay away from that specific person that actually has that, or try to even like counter that with your own plague lord, because most likely the person that has it has some form of healing. So try to actually counter that, and then if you could like pick that person off as fast as possible, then like, you know, get to safety or even recall and have this take effect again, and, you know, get your health regen back. Well, that's the end of the build, and if you actually like the build, you could try it sometime, see how it works for you and your Wraith. But the only request that I have is, if you're going to use my build, please make it look sexy. Alright guys, that's it.